So what's going on? Are you thinking about getting these little people into fitness, or even thinking about putting them in training or starting them out on weights? Well, I have some things that you need to know before you enter our precious little kids, and definitely want to implement to help them grow, and especially in the posterior control coming up.
Make sure you hit that like button and that bell so you don't miss another video for That Guy Health.
That's always right. So listen, today what we're gonna do is we're working here with Butterfly. She's 7 years old, and a lot of people want to see how to get their kids into fitness, or maybe even start getting them physically active as far as training is concerned. The only thing is, a lot of people make the mistake of starting kids on weights too early, but there are a lot of things that you could do to prepare them for that level in that stage when the time comes. The big thing here is to always notice posterior control. That is the most important thing when it comes to kids and developing them into a training atmosphere, no matter if it's weights, resistance bands, or anything like that. We need to take notice of what their bodies can handle and their range of motion when performing certain exercises. So I'm gonna get Butterfly down, and we're gonna head over here. And what I got here is I got some 5-pound weights. Now, 5-pound weights are not very heavy, and that would definitely depend on who is handling them. But what I am going to show you is, regardless of the weight, you're probably going to notice that Butterfly's form is not correct, and that's what we want to get away from. We don't want them handling weights or any type of resistance training if their range of motion is not correct, if their form is off. This can cause the big thing, injury. And I'm not going to even go into what else it can cause, because that is the biggest factor, injuring our kids and messing around and putting them in a situation that puts them behind the power curve. So with 5-pound weights, I'm willing to go ahead and do that to demonstrate so that you can physically and visually see the things that I'm talking about. So I'm going to hand Deanna these 5-pound weights. What I want you to do is I want you to do a bicep curl, okay? First thing you notice is her form when she's picking them up. She's starting to tilt forward. She's doing a rotation that she shouldn't do, and she's dropping them very hard, which definitely will probably put pressure on her joints, unneeded yanking on her joints. Turn to the side, Butterfly. All right, now do a bicep curl. If you notice, her arms flare out, and now she's changed her form without even noticing. Why? Because her body's trying to cheat. It's not ready, and she doesn't properly know how to do the exercise. So I'm gonna take these from her. Give me those. So one thing that you can implement to help them basically know how to keep their arms in line, how to keep things level, and you have to keep in mind that these are young minds, so sometimes they don't stay on task all the time, and they don't take direction as good as we would want them to. But with the constant repetition, hopefully we can get that. So I'm gonna get a piece of this PVC pipe. And what I want Butterfly to do is I want her to take her hands and place it on the PVC pipe, not yet. And I'm gonna want her to curl it and to try to keep both ends even. So I don't want one end like this or one end like that. It's light, and she can get her form down, and I can correct her. And this way we can perform an exercise without taxing her or causing her injury. So get the PVC pipe right here. Get your hands a little wider. All right. Now I want you to curl 5 times without either one of these ends being higher than the other. I want you to keep them even, and I want a nice controlled curl. There you go. All right. See, there we go. That's a tactic that you can use to prepare them for the next level when that time comes. And let's say she does this over the next course of a few weeks, and she gets good at it, and I also teach her how to keep her tempo correct, how to drop down right here, get the biceps fully on the eccentric, and come up properly. Then what I might do is I might end up moving her to resistance bands, all right? Resistance bands before weights, especially when it comes to these little people. Okay, and some other things that we can do. So right there would be a good bicep curl exercise that you can do with somebody around Butterfly's age. So what I like to incorporate is something that's called handle yourself. And handle yourself means that you can do all body exercises with your own body weight and a good amount of reps. So whether that be pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, squat jumps, no extra added resistance besides for your own body weight and what you have going in the reps. So right now I'm just going to tell her, without doing a lot of critiquing and a lot of instructing, I just want her to do some push-ups, and we're going to see where she is right now, and then we're going to make some changes and show you how to either break down the exercise so we can build her to get correct, or we make some subtle changes and she can get the exercise fully complete without us breaking it down. So Butterfly, why don't you go ahead and give me 5 push-ups. She's not getting good depth. Her feet are wiggling. So what we want to do right here is I want to tell her to keep her butt up, try to stay straight, okay? Keep your head pointed right here, Look right here, not so far out. Now go down. Okay, boom. Now right there, I gave her a cue. Go ahead and stop, butterfly. Get on your knees, relax. Right there, I gave her a cue, okay? So right now I see she's not fully ready for it. She can't properly do the push-up good. So what we're gonna do is, instead of giving her more cues, we're gonna break the exercise down to go ahead and promote her muscle and her neuromuscular system to get ready to handle the full exercise. So right now I'm gonna have her get into a plank. Get into a plank, a push-up position all the way up. Get your butt down. Look right here. Now stay just like that. And what I'll do is I'll leave her in that position either for as long as she can handle it, or we'll do 30-second intervals, 30-second rest. This will prepare her body and the muscle she needs to be at the top. So the next thing I will do is tell her to go ahead and slowly drop yourself down, keeping your body even. Drop your chest down, look up right here, lay flat, look up right here. Okay, now I want you to push up and try to stay and keep your core engaged. Keep your tummy tight. Push up. Okay, now when she tried to come up, she definitely lagged on her left side. She's right hand dominant. So with that being the case, we would consistently go ahead and rest. What I would do is I would consistently have her in that plank position and have her drop down slowly. And then I would have her go back to her knees, get and reset, and keep doing those and drop down slowly. And over a course of time, her body will develop the control it needs. It'll develop the neuromuscular understanding it needs to perform this routine. So something else that we can also implement with somebody her age. How do you feel so far?
I feel good, but my hands are kind of like hurting.
Okay, so she feels good, but her hands are kind of hurting. And that's from her weight being here. So most likely she's not used to doing push-ups. So definitely those muscles are feeling taxed. Come on. All right, so something that most kids like to do, and especially you need to pay attention to this when training them, you want to kind of train them to do certain things or be better at certain things they're doing already in their life. They play at the jungle gym. They're always tussling and pushing and then trying to lift up other kids. So it's not like they don't handle resistance, but as far as in a training capacity, they're not. So it's a very different realm, all right? So right now, we're gonna have her do some box jumps. So the first thing before I have her jump on this box, I want her to back away from the box, and I want you to bend down and do a jump straight up. I don't want you to go anywhere, I just want you to jump straight up, jump. Okay, and come down, boom. Her landing is not great, and I want you to be a little softer. So what I want you to do is I want you to come right here, jump up, and try to land like a cat. Try to land just like a cat, real soft, all right? So let me see you do that. Like a cat, soft feet. Like a cat, soft feet. Good job, all right. Those are what you call all body squats. She's adding a plyo movement in there. And just off that one cue, you can see that her landing softer, her form's a little bit better. So there I wouldn't have to do anything else different to the exercise besides give her a little bit different hand placement on basically stabilizing or equaling out her weight. So now I want you to jump up on this box, softly, exactly, like a cat. Both feet land and then jump back down softly like a cat, okay? All right, so wait. Step up, son. There you go. And what I will do is I'll stand here in case she loses her footing. That way I can catch her and she doesn't face plant. All right, so let's get you to do 5 of those. Jump up on the box. Now jump back down. Try to make it all the way up on the platform. Back, there you go. Back down, soft like a cat. Up, all the way on the platform, all the way on the platform. Jump back down, soft like a cat, up. Keep your balance, go back down, give me one more. Soft like a cat, up. Good job, all right? Those are some things you could do to incorporate them as far as getting the leg strength in. And with that repetition at that tempo, it will also raise the heart rate, which gets in a little cardio. So like I said, we do some all body moves. How you feel so far?
My legs are hurting.
Her legs are hurting, okay? Usually she's not just down, she's really like all hyper, but she's trying to act for the camera. So one thing we're gonna do is we're gonna move to pull-ups. So with that, oh, she likes pull-ups, all right? She likes pull-ups. So with that being said, I'm going to give her assisted pull-ups. So if they can't do pull-ups on their own, what you will do constantly with kids, you will never leave them on a pull-up bar on their own. They're already at the playground, on the jungle gym, they're gonna be there. But in this atmosphere, we want to keep everything as safe because we're doing training, we're not out there playing, and we're not competing. So what I'm going to do is get her up there, and if she can't do a full pull-up on her own, then I'll have her hang and then drop down slowly with my hands guiding her. So let's step over to the pull-up station. Let's go over here. No rings, we're going to do these today, okay? Right here. So You can turn and face the camera. All right, so let's get ready to get her up here. So boom. Get your hand spread a little wider. All right, now I want you to go ahead and pull up if you can. Boom, so no full pull up right there, all right? So what we will do is we'll get her up here and I want you to stay up there. And I'll let her stay up there, and as she starts fatiguing, she'll naturally start dropping. My hands will stay right here to go ahead and help her out, and then I'll put her back up there again. Go again, stay up there as long as you can. Stay up there as long as you can, and she'll start fatiguing and dropping slowly, and that's why my hands are there in case she fully comes off of the bar, okay? So these are things that you want to do with kids her age in order to help them progress, because if you put them into a weighted situation too early, what you will do is cause injury, okay? And getting used to exercising is way different than playing. Their mind has to be focused. They start now concentrating on things that start feeling a little bit sore or fatigued versus if they were out on the playground just running around and giggling and playing. So was this a little bit different than being at the playground? Yes, it is. You can smile, it's okay. So with that being said, be very careful with the kids, be very knowledgeable and open-minded, listen to them, understand that they do not follow direction as well as we would want in a training environment, and you do have to be patient, although some of us don't have a lot of patience, which is why some of us don't need to be training. But other than that, do you have anything to say, Butterfly? But you got to speak loud and proud because the cameras, the people are waiting.
My hands feel red, and you know why? Because I was like dropping when Daddy kept me up there, and now my hands hurt.
Okay, so there you go, her hands hurt. That's gonna happen. Training does cause pain, but the big thing is you make sure that they're not injured. And you do need to understand that when they do start training or they do start training for exercise, whether it be soccer, football, basketball, they're gonna have complaints about soreness, which is an alarm reaction. But definitely pay attention if you see any discoloration in the joints, if you see any purple or blue, that would tell you that the injury might exist. And that calls for a physician. Trainers are not physicians, and we are not supposed to diagnose anything like that. Outside of just training, that is for a physician, a doctor, an RN, or somebody like that. We just recognize if you can go on, and we are after the rehabilitation stage. We are into the functional stage. So with that being said, you know what I always say, be safe, let's build together, and peace.